What's going on, solutionaries? It's Lou Ramirez, the car guy.
And it's Fred Lenart, subprime hero.
And we are brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee podcast. And we are excited to be brewing with you. We have an incredible guest back on the show in the cafe. And we're a little bit here, a little bit there, a little bit everywhere. But right now, wherever you are, stop what you're doing and tag a car guy and tag
a car gal.
And share.
Yo, get it out there. We got some great announcements. We are doing a follow-up. It's been a little while since we've done a follow-up show, and we're super excited to get this solutionary on here. This is somebody that was all over social media for a very long time. I think people saw what she was doing, the way she was growing, so many things. She was always involving family, whatever she had to do to be able to grow a brand. And then she kind of disappeared last year, right? And we're all like, what's going on? Well, she was in the works of making something happen. We got some announcements about that today. We get to talk about what's been happening. I can't wait to figure out what's been happening.
Mapping it.
That's
much
right,
is cracking. No, seriously, it's like you get to see so many people inside of social media do their thing. It's like you feel like you're a part of the story. It feels like you're a part of the flow. And then all of a sudden, where'd they go? And then you get to catch up and you're like, I see what you're doing. And it's so awesome because solutionaries that are always brewing are always making something come to the market that's helping to enhance not just the way customers do what it is that customers do, but the way we do what it is that we do. And we absolutely love that we have the chance to do a follow-up. Every great salesperson knows you got to do your follow-ups. Okay, you got to make sure you follow up with those conversations that have been cooking.
That's right.
Cooking. You have to follow up with them, and we're so excited to see what is happening now post-pandemic, right? We are now on a whole other side of the coin, and we're loving seeing everything that is brewing, everything that is cooking, and the history that's being made today, tomorrow, and you all are going to get the chance to be a part of that. So again, make sure that you share this around. We are very, very, very blessed to have a great guest back on the show today. Fred, man, I don't know if they're ready yet.
I can tell you're excited, bro. I can tell you're excited, right? And when Lou's excited, means there's something special brewing right now. And in this special brew that we have today is going to be phenomenal. Just about a month or maybe a couple months ago, she reached out to me via email and said, hey, I got this book. You know, it's about as much I'm going to say. Do you want to read it? It's coming out soon. I would love for you. And I absolutely jumped on that opportunity because of who this person is. And I just knew that the book was going to be good. So we're going to talk about that some during this too. Announce it, tell you where you can get it. Because guess what? Tomorrow is the day. So Lou, brother, let's get her on the screen. Let's get her on here because this is somebody that we've had on the show before. Matter of fact, last time she was cozy down in Mexico, hanging out at the beach, all lounging, right? It was amazing. The sun was just like rising in her face. It was just like, come on now. That's like a perfect picture shoot right there, right? So it was a good time. It was a great interview, a great five-liner, one of our very first ones. And we're excited to have her back today, Lou. Let's get this going.
Pumped up about this. So everybody, we got to get a little bit of music moving and grooving for you all. You know the deal. We have to welcome in an incredible solutionary, and every good hero needs their theme music. This happens to be that of the solutionaries. We're going to turn this up a little bit and welcome in the one, the only,
The only
Katie.
Katie.
Yeah!
Let's go.
Thank you. Oh my goodness, what an introduction. That is amazing. Thank you so much, you two.
Well, hopefully
Well,
you
we're
feel
honored.
as valued as we value you. Welcome to the show. Welcome back for a follow-up.
Thank you. I'm so excited to be here. And, we were just talking just a little bit before the show, Fred and I, and it's been a whirlwind. And he talked about me disappearing a little and then coming back. Well, I came back and come back with a vengeance and some good information.
Boom.
Let's go. Check that out.
Oh, man. First of all, I just, in everyone, just so you know, did you guys see the title of that book? What a cool play of words right there. The custom her experience, but it's customer experience, right? So when you think about that, this is bringing the her in that, and it's important. That's kind of the key point of this whole book. So I want you all to see this and notice this: the custom her experience. Love that name. Great title. What made you come up? How did you come up with that name? I just have to say, how did you come up? That's so unique, but yet right on the time, right? So how did you come up with that?
I mean, I've been in customer experience for as long as I can remember. It's been my sole purpose, and not just customer as in for businesses, but even if in my own world, I've always, for me, it's about creating experiences for other people, breaking those scripts and creating those magical moments and memories. And so customer experience has been something that's just near and dear to my heart and my passion, and making sure that everybody has an opportunity to learn how to create those moments for their customers. Well, when I had a relatively crappy car buying experience, I started to go down the rabbit hole of the female consumer. And so I realized how I'm a woman, obviously. Last time I checked, I'm a woman, and I know how important and overlooked she is. And so I went down this rabbit hole, and I just realized she has the influence. And so I, came up with this custom her experience, because it is the next level, leveling up your experience one more notch, so that you can actually make a huge difference for the world's most influential consumer.
My goodness.
And she talks about these things in her books. It opens up with the story. It tells you all about what that experience was, folks. We're not going to spill too many beans on that, because you need to go out and read that. I'm going to tell you, it's amazing. If you go back and watch the first 5-liner, there's a little bit about that on there too. I just want you all to know it's a great show to go back and replay. But I'm just saying, it's a great way to do it. But she's so right. The main decision maker, the one who actually is the tipping of the scale, is usually the her, the she, the female of the group, right? That's the decision makers. They're the ones who make the decision in most instances, in my experience. But yet we don't work them the right way. We try to put them as less than, and that's something crazy. I'm not saying I do. I'm not saying that you do, salespeople. I'm just saying in general we have. So the experience needs to change. It's not just in automotive. This is everywhere. But we're talking about automotive right now. Right. We're talking about automotive right now, and the experience is not right. It needs to be better for sure. So I love that you talk about that. I love that you wrote a whole book about this whole situation and the inspiration and where it came from. It's so right on, being a mother, being with children with you, walking into a dealership. I need to stop. I'm spilling too many beans. But just doing that is a tough enough experience for people to have to handle anyway. But let alone be treated then like they're not a real decision maker. That's a problem, and that's something we need to fix. And the book tells you guys, folks, a recipe of success here. I'm just saying. So you guys got to go out and get this. Down below, I just want to throw this out. You'll see it's going to be streaming most of the show. It says go to this Amazon website. Write this down, my friends. This is where you can get her book. You can pre-order it today, and tomorrow it's ready to go. It's ready to be sent out. So it is going. It's on Valentine's Day of all days to pick to.
Well,
so tell everybody, what made you pick 14th? What made you pick the 14th of Valentine's Day? I got to hear this.
It's the day of love, and so I know, especially in the automotive industry, the word love is something you don't use a lot, right? It's too touchy-feely. It's all the warm and fuzzy. And here's the thing: women want to fall in love with your brand, and actually physiologically she does. She falls in love with you as she goes and journeys through the car buying experience. It's more about the chase and the journey than it is the actual purchase for her. And so what better day to launch a book about women than the day of love?
That's very, very on subject. I love that because when trying to make sure that we keep in theme on all angles, on all approaches to our brand experience, it is awesome that you get to bring out what it is that you are a subject matter expert in on a day where commerce is going crazy as people are trying to show their love by way of what they can jam inside of a box or a bag, right? And it's awesome that you fuse that in there. So Valentine's Day, everybody, go ahead and get yourself a custom her experience and find out what it is that other people are saying from a side that maybe you haven't even asked the question from. See, the car guy, the car gal that gets to listen to this, whether now or whether on the replay, you're always setting a stage for an experience no matter how you lay out the cards. An experience is happening. And taking inventory of it from all angles is important, just as much as it is saying, hey, what is your brand doing in your city, in your part of town? What does it matter? Just as much as who's walking into your building. How do you formulate something that can make everybody feel welcome and make sure that everybody is feeling the experience that you set out? And it doesn't happen by accident. This is intention, right? So many of the things that we get to see inside of the market, they are set forth by way of intention, good or bad. And inside of that, you get to break it down. I'm sure you have so many ins and outs inside of the book that people can look at. But what is it that helped you to start to formulate the understanding of how it is that people need to kind of see it portrayed, what people want, what the female experience is looking like?
Yeah, so for me, I wanted to make sure so I had this gut feeling, right? This intuition, this intent to create good in the world through a customer experience. And when I really dug deep about the female consumer and her impact and influence in the world, so she influences about $43 trillion of worldwide spending. It's crazy. Women own a close to 9 million businesses, employ 8 million plus people. They generate $1.4 trillion of revenue in the world, women alone. And women are actually opening and starting more new businesses than men are right now. It's amazing. However, with that being said, there's a lot of the female movement, right? It's, oh, I am woman, hear me roar. Women rock, women rule, we're amazing. But then we still get to this ceiling at this point where we can't really move and we get checkmate. I wanted to make sure in this book, it wasn't just another woman coming across saying, I think we're amazing and we need to ensure that you all read about it. I did my research. Not one point in my book is not scientifically backed. So I'm not saying that women are the answer to everything, but what I am saying is, hey, men out there, understand us. And I'm even saying, because I researched the man's brain too. So it's not just about women, it's about men and women and how we can work together. And I didn't even just look at the women and say, hey, you need to be understood. It's like, no, you need to understand him. Men are from Mars, women are from Venus, and we're physiologically different. Our brains are built differently. So it's not about who's better or who's right or who's wrong. We all have strengths. We were born this way. And so I wanted to make sure in my book that came across. It's really an understanding of what makes us different so that we can better plan and take steps forward to making a kind of fee plus male, so like a female environment that works great for everybody. It's about really understanding the physiological differences. So while I have a lot of personal tales in here and I have stories and case studies and all that. It's scientifically backed. It is research-based book. So it's not just another woman that's out hoping a man or other women hear my story. It's just science. And so I backed everything up with science. So it's really important for anybody who's maybe on the fence of a custom her experience going, oh, I don't even know. Why do we need that? You need it. You need to understand if you don't do anything with it, you at least need to understand our brains. You need to at least understand what makes us different so that your current women working with you in your lives or your current customers, if you do nothing more, you'll have more empathy and compassion towards her.
Man, put that in your cup and sip on it.
I just want to sit here and clap. I'm like, wow, this is so impactful. Listen, folks, I mean, if you're watching this on the replay, share that to some people. If you're watching this live right now, share this to people. This is a great, great example of what's really happening in the market and the opportunities that are out there to be better. And there's so many things. I love what you talked about. Us men and women both need to work together because the future is together. It's not one being better than the other. Like you said, we all have rights to be great. It's our jobs to be the best version of ourselves, not have people hold us down. We got to stop having people hold us down and speak loud about that when it happens. And that's the whole point of this, is that we got to start understanding that people don't need to be treated differently, but they need to be understood differently. That's the difference, right? We need to understand everyone and give them fair chance.
Exactly. I didn't write this book to bash men because I think men are great. I mean, hey, I entered the automotive space, and truth be told, I had more of a warm welcome from you gentlemen than I did from the ladies, right? So sometimes ladies are the ones that hold us back. But the idea is we need to work together, woman to woman, man to man, man to woman, woman to man. And we just, it's just easier to do that if you understand where that person's coming from, and that it's really, I joke when a woman, if your wives or girlfriends, or they all say, oh, I'm going to go for some retail therapy. Well, it's a real deal. Like, retail therapy is probably cheaper than a therapist, to be honest, but it's a real deal. Hits of dopamine and serotonin on that journey. She may not like the credit card statement at the end of it all, but it is how she's built. It is how she's physiologically wired. And the more understanding we have of her and her brain and his brain, the easier time we're going to have to show that compassion and empathy towards one another.
So, I mean, there's not a side of the sphere you don't want to get a bit of an understanding from. Right. Every vantage point matters, especially if you're trying to have a brand that does say all is welcome, equal opportunity. Now, of course, people trying to pinpoint who it is that they're trying to get their product to may not have put certain aspects that you would point out to them that they would even know. Like they say, I want that business. I want that business. I just don't know how to quite communicate. Right. I just may not know what adjustments, what needs to be seen. Maybe how does my website need to flow? How does my furniture need to look? Daggone it, what does my bathroom need to look like?
That's a big one.
Inside of that, I mean, there's so many different questions that an owner or an operator or somebody that's trying to make sure that a business is flowing right. What other suggestions would you recommend people do to be able to find out like the different vantage points that they can use to be able to build their brand? Because it's so much of an experience. Remember, if it's not just for her, then it's for everybody. How do they get more and more information like yours?
Yeah. So, I mean, when it comes to building an experience for her, I always first ask people, do you even have an experience built for everyone? Like, do you even have a starting point? Because if you don't have a basic journey map and you don't have basic brand standards for everybody, then you don't have any jumping off point. So I'm not saying, hey, just design an experience for her. I think you just need to cast your experience net wide enough that you capture.
I like that.
And then you elevate it for when she is in your presence. I think one of the biggest, I guess, suggestions I can give to anybody who wants to elevate that experience is that you have your case studies working alongside you. Like, you have everything you need if you have at least one female working in your dealership, or, you know, a wife or a girlfriend or a daughter. You have your resources around you. I would dare you to ask them what they would want different, because they are willing to share. Women want to be heard, and we are the original social media. So if you just open that door just a little crack, we'll come kick it down and tell you everything you need to know. The bathrooms is a big one. The bathrooms is something I always, when I'm working with, after we go through what she needs, what she wants, the physiological differences, when I work with an organization, I will have them actually go on an experiential tour of their bathrooms. And I put the dudes in a girl's bathroom. And I say, now come and tell me what you would change after you've learned everything about her. So it's quite... So an experience, there's a difference between service and an experience. Service is a transaction, right? It's like in, out, you know, the service lane, all, like, it's just very transactional. You look at an experience is something that actually evokes an emotion. So the idea is you want to evoke an emotion in your training of how to deliver an experience. And by the age of 16, this is a little fact and it's in the book, but by the age of 16, we're pretty much set in our ways with habits, right? The only way to shift that is if it hurts enough, if you're inspired enough, or, you know, you feel something different. Something has to be felt in order for you to want to shift that. You know, if you look at weight loss, right? If, you know, it has to hurt enough, like, oh, I can barely move, or my back hurts literally, or I can't get out of bed, or I can't chase my kids, or, oh, I got diabetes tests back and I'm pre-diabetic, or whatever it is. It has to hurt enough for you to make that change. You have to be inspired enough to make that change. You have to feel it. Well, women in your dealerships are all the experience you need, and all of the kind of case studies you need. And by doing something like taking the men and the women into the washroom, that is an experience they won't ever forget. So there'll be a shift. And then you have the women explain what they'd see different, what they'd want to see different. And the first thing that anybody does when they leave my sessions is they literally go to the washroom, and then I get floods of emails back going, oh my goodness, I didn't even know. And then they make a change. And you don't have to make a change that's so drastic, especially if you have a foundational experience. But you can level up and you can strive for more. And by doing things like, as silly as it sounds, visiting the washroom with your, you know, females in your workspace to get their feedback.
Right. So true.
Wow.
Goodness.
Wow. Such great tips. I hope everyone's taking notes. I mean, I'm just saying. Some really great stuff, great perspectives, different ways of looking at stuff, slight changes to really just change. It's like being a foot taller and seeing stuff from a different angle, you know, being able to do that and being able to show them that way. I love that you're able to do that, and we're creative enough. Yeah, exactly. But that's what's special, you know. Listen, folks, she didn't leave social media for no reason. She's been doing some great stuff, and she's really putting all that stuff that she has in her head down onto paper. She really did. She wanted to make sure that you all understood this, that there's opportunity out there for all of us. It's not just read her book, because yes, go down there once again and strolling right down here. Make sure you order this book, get it real quick. This way you can be one of the first ones, right? And then read this book, get some education, get some inspiration, and go out and figure out a way to do something like that in your marketplace. Because I'm going to tell you, if you're not working on that, if you're not working on the customer experience, then you're really missing a great opportunity for your dealership to be greater than it was yesterday. And helping community so much more, getting the vibe out there. It's like, listen, every female in the whole community is going to want to buy a car there. They talk and they know where the best places are to buy, right? And they know where the deals are. They know where the specials are. They know what you know, they know. So understand that your dealership needs to be in that whole I know stuff. Like, you need to go see them over at that place because they are killing it. And they tell you what, they had coffee, cappuccino waiting for me. They, you know, whatever, right? But you got to make sure that it is second to none, something so different, but the experience is never forgotten. You know, Lou, what's that quote that we always talk about experience?
Oh, the
people will forget what. Yeah, go ahead.
Maya Angelou.
Yes, people are going to forget what you said. People are going to forget what you did. But people will never forget how you made them feel.
Yeah.
Man.
And so,
and that's it.
A woman's limbic brain is almost double the size of a man's. And so a limbic brain is the emotional and memory hub of your brain. So if you just take that one physiological difference between a man and a woman, she's going to feel greater, feel more deeply, and hang on to more of those emotions and the details of that experience far more great than a man. A man is going to just get on with his life, but she's going to go and tell all her girlfriends and anyone who will listen.
Mm-hmm.
And now she's got the megaphone of the World Wide Web to make that, come to life. So a mentor of mine once told me in customer experience that you never arrive, like you never have a ribbon cutting ceremony where it's like, I've got this figured out and I'm providing a stellar experience. You're always evolving because your customers are evolving, your business is evolving, the world is evolving, your team is evolving as individuals. And so this is just one more way to evolve the experience you currently have, is just to look at the world's most influential consumer and say, hey, at each touch point, what tweaks can we make to make our people more compassionate, more understanding, more approachable, use better language and verbiage? What can we do to level up and evolve our experience? I'm not saying you need to tear it apart and go to work. I'm saying, how do you go from good to great? How do you go from, how do you provide that excellence? And by focusing on her, you're going to level up that experience.
Yeah, no doubt about it, everybody. If you want to be
that's money,
what it means to be able to improve, ask a lady. She's not gonna not tell you how to make something better, how to do that. It doesn't. I think of just so many, like even generationally, right? If you can make the best meal possible, you can be like, Ma, try it. I did it. I nailed it. I hit it. Yes, but you can make it just a little bit better. You can add just a little bit more, right? It can improve just a little bit. And you're like, yes, I guess I can. Yeah, you're right. You're so right. You know what I mean? And inside of that, the understanding that we're never done sweeping the corners of the room for improvement. We never stop. It gets dusty. It comes back. We want to clean it up. We want to make sure that we are non-stop focusing on how do we improve ourselves and everybody else. And you brazed by it a bit in asking the ladies. The thing is there needs to be more ladies around, especially inside of the automotive industry. Of course, this is a big thing that we're waving a flag as high and as loud and as proud as we can to say, ladies, welcome, come to this industry. You will find a way to thrive in this business. And we're trying to do all we can to make it as enticing as possible. But a big piece is we need more of their voices around in order to even get those opinions. Yeah. Otherwise, it's still just a bunch of dudes asking dudes, what do we think the ladies like? And we only have half the brain to think about it. You know what I mean? I mean, it is. It's so a crazy.
When she said that, I know it's just a part of your brain, but I was thinking, actually, it's probably like the whole thing.
I know, it's like a big chunk. Just the part, it's that big.
Hey, I love us men.
There's nothing wrong with you. Men and women are put on this earth for a reason. And I think we should learn to work together more than have to fight against each other. But I talk a lot about culture in this book and hiring females. And I talk about, a merit-driven culture. I talk about, how women's rise to the top, but where we get stuck. I talk about, I think there's like 12 different obstacles that we face that you gentlemen don't face, and the things that we have to overcome just to even, get our foot in the door. There's this rule. It's I call it the 60% rule, where men will apply to a position if they feel like they meet 60% of the requirements. And women will only apply if they feel like they meet 100% of the requirements. So right there alone, look at your job descriptions. Women don't, if you look for sales, you're looking for sales associates and you're using the word I want you to be hungry. I want you to go out there and be aggressive. And, these words, women don't want to eat their customers. We're not hungry for them. We want to create connections with them. We want to sing Kumbaya a little bit. We don't want to chase down our prey. And so there's just little tweaks you can make when you're trying to attract even a woman to even say, hey, I can do this. And I firmly believe that women will not want to shop with you if they don't want to work with you. Women want to see themselves in your business. And that is right there is a huge shift in creating trust for a female consumer. If she can't see somebody similar to her age working there, smiling, being happy, serving, then she's going to know right off the bat that this is not a place that a woman is welcome. And there are some really big, in a big way, progressive dealers that are after that. Like Ed Roberts is one, right? Like Ed is amazing. He looks at merit. He doesn't look at what sex you are. He provides that path equally for everyone, but a woman has an equal shot. And so every time, I mean, the reason, not the only reason he's so successful, but the reason Bozard Ford is successful, he's a great case study. He's got women at the helm. And so when women come in through that service drive, or they come in to go talk to the service advisor, it's mostly women up front. And they say, hey,
that's right.
Talking to a dude, a male service advisor, they see the women in there. And so they all of a sudden their guard is down because this must be a good place to be. And so it's really important. I mean, a culture of diversity based on merit is the way we need to go.
Come on.
God bless this. Everything you just said, I just want to get a microphone and drop it for you. I'm just saying, like, absolutely. Bozard Ford, shout out to them. Letty Bozard and everybody out there. They have some great people, females leading the way over there. Dude, Ed Roberts, phenomenal guy. Absolutely. He's been on the show a couple times. We love him. I see him everywhere I get to go. Matter of fact, I'll be seeing him in San Antonio here in a couple weeks. But absolutely love that guy, and and that whole group. And you're right. When you have faces that feel familiar when you walk somewhere, it makes you feel more comfortable. Yeah. And as a woman walking into a business, seeing other women, not just sitting at a counter, but maybe even working in the garage and fixing things, they start to go, hold on a second. This is my home. This is where I was supposed to already be. And that's what it is. I think that a lot of things, we're not telling people, and I think you would agree, is that we're not telling people to go out and just hire females. No. Hire talent, but don't make talent based off of male or female. Look at it blindly, just like Ed does. It's just about what's your merit. We want to look for a diverse talent pool, but diversity isn't just male, female. It's not just race either. It's talent. I want diverse talent in here. So I'm going to look for whatever is the best person to put this role. Now, granted, we're starting to find that, and people, all you all out there watching this, you leaders, the females out there are phenomenal. So yes, they do need a shot. But the words you said just such good points. The way that you even advertise, you go on Indeed and you put certain words, they're not going to attract different, diverse talent. So you have to learn to change that up, fish in different ponds, use different words to bring in different people that you would not normally get when you put out an ad like that. So if you want to make a difference, change the way that you word your ads. You made such good points there, Katie. Change the way that you word your ads and look for different people to interview, because you're interviewing the same folks. That's why you keep getting the same results, my friends. Yeah. So get out there and find different people, and you will find that your dealership will grow. You'll have more diversity inside the store, not just in thoughts, but yes, naturally, because of it, you will have females, you'll have Hispanic, Asian, you'll have it all inside the store. But you have to be willing to look for different. You got to change it up. You got to get with people like Katie. She'll be able to show you the way. Call me or Lou. We'll make sure that you guys get it too. Yes. I promise you, there's so much opportunity for all of us as human race to go out and be better on this planet, because it takes all of us to make this planet better. And that's the truth right there. So I love what you're talking about. You got me all pumped up over here. I'm like, yes, girl, preach. Let's go.
We got Arnold jumping in here, who does what he can to make everybody better. We absolutely
Arnold's phenomenal.
Arnold.
Love you, Arnold.
Hello, but check this out. He just said out of nowhere, my daughter is 16 and is considering selling cars. That just came out of nowhere. I've never suggested it. Folks, we're turning the tide. It's changing, okay? We can't let our feet off the gas, right? All gas, no brakes. We're going with intention. And with that intention, again, it's listen, if I'm running a business and I want to be able to speak to women, I am going to then be specific about finding the most qualified woman for that position. I will be targeted about that. No different than if I want to speak to the Spanish community. I am going to find a
Yes,
person
exactly.
to my
Exactly.
community, right?
Mhm.
They
And
speak the language.
Lord,
Same thing.
we want to pull all of those that speak the different language to the different demographics that we want to serve. And yes, it's with intention. It's with intention for good cause, for good reason. And people can find fault with that. Man, they just hired that lady. They just hired that dude Lou. They just hired that Asian Fred. You know what I mean? That Hispanic kid Lou. That whatever. They just did that because they want to get, because they want to leverage, or they want to hit a quota. And I get so upset with that when saying, do you not see it from the side of they want to be able to serve those people in their community too, that they honor, respect, and value? Do they want
Yep.
somebody to be grafted into their business that takes upon the same core values that they want to do business in the community for? So many people look at things so cynically and wanting to pick a problem with it. So people would even lay off of it, right? They'd even back off. I'm not going to do it because I don't want anybody to say that I'm trying to do something sideways. And I say, forget them. If you really want to help somebody, go get somebody that will make them welcome and give them an opportunity in that community. You'll be so surprised what happens when you open that door. No different than even looking for somebody inside of in an age difference, right? If you want to if you're packed with a whole bunch of, I mean, let's say 25 and belows in an age group, I'm not saying that they can't connect with anybody, but I am saying that, man, if you did have somebody that was on their game, more seasoned, and really wanted a shot at doing great, I never count them out no matter what their age is.
Yeah.
Go ahead and be intentional about somebody that can speak inside of that market, right? We have to understand that not everybody has the same language, but if we can pull in as many people as possible that speak multiple languages of people, right, then
Well,
we're all
it's
be better as a brand.
for sure. And I mean, I don't know if y'all have ever read the, Strengths-Based Leadership or Strengths Finder, those two books. They're amazing. But basically what they say is to build a team of people that don't look like you, don't resemble you, because you are you and you have your strengths. And so you want to build a team of people around you that are quite opposite of you so that you can build a really strong team. And so while you as a leader may be the nucleus of the team, you don't want necessarily yes men and women around you that are exactly like you, because you're not going to get any better. You're just going to stand still. And a leader without followers is just somebody taking a walk all by themselves. So create a team of people around you that are stronger than you outside of your strengths, and they complement your weaknesses, so that you're pretty much making yourself stronger by doing that. You're creating a foundation and a base where you have that safety net of amazing folks that will lift you up and lift your team up, and then in return you can do the same for them.
Man,
Boom.
Come on, Katie.
You bringing it. She is bringing it. She has totally been getting into her skills and learning every little thing, the science behind it, because she's got so much to bring, and that's important. But everything you're saying is so true, folks. Listen, let's get out of the 1900s and all those. Let's talk about now. This is 20s. I mean, the 2000s, I'm saying, right? This is where it's all about, and it's the 20s, right? So it's an important time. This is time for change. This is 23, the year of greatness, and it's a great time for you to go out and get this book. I'm going to say it again tomorrow, Valentine's Day. The book is available, but you can go pre-order it right now. Right down below me, you see this little link. Bing, 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 right down there. It's on Amazon, folks.
And put in custom her experience, and it pops right up too. So the link is easy.
Very easy to find.
Yeah, exactly. Or you can go onto my website, katiemares.com, and you can pre-order it from there. There's a little tab that there's a book tab up there, which you can click on there and pre-order it from there. But yeah, you've got it. Listen, we all need to grow and keep growing and developing. And there's not a lot of humans out there talking about her and how she impacts your business and how she can impact on a positive, stage for you. It's actually said that some of the research I've been reading lately is that when you focus on her, the experience you're giving her, you can double your revenue in 36 months. Double your revenue in just 36 months. So if you level up where you feel stagnant, the next thing to do is to focus on create an experience for the world's most influential consumer. And not even your outside customer, that's one, but your internal customer. I hear right now a lot in the auto space. You know, I was telling Fred before we came on how I've disappeared, but I've had this warm welcome with everybody here in the automotive space. And it is amazing, but what I'm hearing is the word culture, and what's really being kicked around right now is diversity and culture within your team and your dealership. If you're trying to level up your culture and your people, you have to read this book, because the only way you're going to get her in through your door is if you do.
Come on now.
Let's go. I love that. So excited. I mean, so many people are chiming in, but you know what you're talking about is so real, and it's so truthful. Go get the book. It'll change your life. Now, I do. Arnold saying, I'll get one if she signs it. Arnold, buy the book. When I send it to me, I'll make sure it gets signed. I promise you. So just get the book. Order it now. Go pre-order it right now, my friends. Do it. Support our friend. And like I said, this is more than support. This is opportunity. There's education in this book. There's inspiration and motivation. This is a recipe right here, my friends. It's, as we would call it, it's the map, right, Lou? And it's the map to be able to help you and your business be able to give her the experience that she deserves, the customer. Let's get it. I love it. This is amazing. What a great show this has been today. Katie, thank you for your time. You know, I know that you're a busy person and you got a lot of things going. I know this next day is going to be a lot of sending messages back. People are going to be doing this. You checking out this.
Yes.
I'm so excited for you. We'll follow up with you again a lot sooner than 2 to 3 years. And we'll check out what's going on with the book. Folks, I want you all to know we're going to be looking on our social media. She's going to be sending me some stuff to be able to post for her. So be looking for ways to be able to communicate with her, be able to get the things. But once again, go to her website. It's so easy. I mean, I'm telling you, you guys will see it right there. Right there. It's her name. Just go to the website. You can't miss it, right? So when you just go out there, order the book, but learn a lot more and really just show her some love, support her. Tomorrow's Valentine's Day. What a great gift to get for somebody that you love, somebody who loves to read, but also is in the business, any business. This is a great thing for them to get. So let's go. I love it.
So for your wife or your girlfriend, or I mean, anything.
Bingo.
Arnold, but is something I know I do. Yes, let's make it a bestseller, please. But no, it is something that, like, I have a story in here, and I know y'all are trying to kick me off, and I could talk for hours. But there's this story in here. I talk about how she, this dealer went back and had like a start of an argument with his wife, and he called me up the next week and said, you know, I have to thank you. Something amazing happened. Well, we've changed our bathrooms, he says. I'm like, okay, well, that's awesome. I'm so glad. And he goes, and I think you've pretty much saved my marriage. I'm like, what do you mean I've saved your marriage? And he's like, I now know how to communicate with my wife. And so I remembered everything you taught me, and I was able to better understand her, and we were able to diffuse an argument, which has never happened. Wow. So do your people in your life a favor, men and women, and just start understanding each other, because then the world will it'll just circle on so much easier.
Come on.
Oh my goodness.
Seek to understand, then to be
understood. That's right. Oh, so powerful. Powerful. Listen, Katie, we don't need to cut you off now. We can keep you going. But you know, I'm enjoying this show, and I think our audience is too. And I think anybody who's watching this right now, I know you're out there, you're ordering that book. Thank you. It looks like we already had a couple people say they're ordering it, just ordered it. So that's, wow. I'm glad that that's happening for you on the replay. Order the book.
Sorry, I'm interrupting you, but send me a DM or an email, katie@katiemares.com, and I will get a book plate or a bookmark, one or the other, whatever one you want. I will sign it and mail it out to you. So if you've ordered a copy and you want it signed, I can get you a sticker for inside the book that's personally signed by me. So we can do it that way too.
Score. That's a solutionary. Everybody,
go ahead. That is genius.
Let's hit that.
Order that. I'm telling you. But you know, and it's an amazing, folks. Listen, this is your very first book you've ever written, right?
Yes. Yes.
Right. So it's imagine what she's going through right now, but yet she's out doing her social. She's doing everything she can. It takes a lot of guts for someone to just pour their heart out with ink and paper, make something happen, print it, design it, put your heart on the cover, the whole nine, which it's a beautiful book. Show the book really quick. Show everybody this thing. Look at this cover. Look how beautiful this is. Look at that thing. You see that gold with the her? I love that. That's gorgeous. It's a beautiful book.
Yeah.
Ready to go. So that is what you're going to be getting, my friends. That is the book to get. This is the book of the year. All right. So make it a bestseller, because it is a bestseller and it's going to be great. I'm excited for you. I'm pumped up. Folks, if you guys want that signature, you see the email right down there. Just email her. She threw it out there. So exclusive. On Car Guy Coffee.
Exclusive. Get yourself. Well, because we do appreciate everybody that is brewing solutions with us and tuning back in for you, we want to make sure that we do sound off the ultimate message that we want to get out from the cafe, as we do unite solutionaries that want to continue to keep growing. We want to make sure that we do apply the moves and we forgive, focus, fly, and keep growing all the time. Katie is not a stranger to these moves. Once again, everybody, she was back. She's an OG Car Guy Coffee attendee. She's got a 5-liner. You need to go to carguycoffee.com and you need to go listen to it, hear all of the knowledge that she dropped. I think we broke her up into a series because we kept on going. And car guys, car gals, that's what happens when you speak to people of great value. You end up cultivating great conversations that become timeless. And we're so glad that regardless of the time between our last conversations, we have now caught ourselves up just in time for your book release. We are so excited for where it is that you're going and what you're doing and how high you are flying, my friend. So without further ado, let's forgive, focus, fly, so that we can keep growing.
Let's see. How do I do this again? All
right. We're going to hands on your shoulders. You're going to wipe it off, then you're going to focus, and then you're going to fly. So on the count of 3, Lou, count it off, brother.
Here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Forgive. Focus. Fly. And keep growing. Keep growing. That's right, everybody. We have been brewing solutions on the Car Guy Coffee Podcast. I am Lou Ramirez, the Car Guy.
And I'm Fred Lenartz, the subprime hero.
And we have been brewing with the one, the only,
Katie. Let's go.
Oh.
Thank you so much for taking the time with us today. You're incredible. Share it around, everybody. Y'all need to blow her up.
Share this.
We appreciate you.
Get it going.
And rolling. Keep dancing, everybody. And this is going to be a bestseller. That's it. You heard it here, folks. That's a bestseller on the way. We're out.